This is Seven's Afternoon News with Melissa Doyle.
Good afternoon. The death toll from the terrorist attack at a university in Kenya is horrifying. 147 with scores more injured, most of them students. Witness accounts and reaction from the scene leads our bulletin in just a minute. Also, police are treating the death of a toddler in central West New South Wales as suspicious. The latest on the investigation from our reporter on the ground is coming up. The Christian faithful have packed churches on this Good Friday. Hear the messages from their leaders. And he's the man tasked with upholding integrity within the NRL, but Dave Smith is in trouble himself. League reporter Josh Massoud broke his story. He'll join us with the latest.
Mel, thank you. In sport, a huge long weekend ahead, including the A-League, golf, horse racing, rugby league, and look who's back in the pool. We'll have the very latest on Grant Hackett's comeback at the national titles.
And on the weather front, flooding rains threaten the eastern seaboard this weekend. More detail shortly.
First at 4, 147 students are dead and many more injured after a terrorist attack at a university in Kenya. 4 masked gunmen from the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab group stormed the Garissa campus around dawn, moving from dorm to dorm. Survivors have told of their horror as the men separated Christians from Muslims before opening fire. All right, Ashley, thank you. Now, 7 News today revealed NRL boss Dave Smith has been without a driver's licence for almost 6 months. Live to League reporter Josh Massoud at ANZ Stadium in Sydney. And Josh, do we know why Smith lost his licence? All right, Josh Massoud, thank you for that update. Live from ANZ Stadium this afternoon. Now, on Good Friday, Christians have marked the holiest day in their calendar by attending church and reflecting on the sacrifice of Jesus Christ as atonement for sins. And in many of today's Easter messages, thoughts and prayers were offered for Christians and all others persecuted for their faith. Huge crowds have converged on fish markets around the country for the traditional seafood dinner on Good Friday. For others, today was all about the Easter Bunny and what he might bring on Sunday. Here's Damien Smith.
They might be able to jump, Mel, but can they deliver an egg? Guess we'll find out on Sunday. Back to you.
All right, Damien, thank you very much. Now let's get a check at this evening's weather forecast. It's a very good afternoon to Brownie. And Brownie, it's not just southeast Queensland that's facing a wet Easter break.
Yes, that's right, Mel. In fact, the focus will shift south over the next 24 to 36 hours. In fact, on radar now, we can track scattered showers and thunderstorms that stretch all the way from the Victorian border up along the New South Wales coast, well and truly into the far northern reaches of Queensland. But as pressure starts to fall off the New South Wales coast, we'll see some heavy rain affecting coastal areas. Now we're expecting up to 50 millimetres to fall in and around Sydney tomorrow, which will lead to, well, some flash flooding. Elsewhere, though, at the moment, let's have a look. We've got clear conditions underneath the southeast corner thanks to that belt of high pressure. And right now, well, it's hovering around 26 degrees in Brisbane. Sydney, it's only 18 degrees. Melbourne, clear skies and 20. The Easter forecast is coming up a little later, Mel.
Look forward to it, Brownie. Thank you. See you soon. Next in Seven's Afternoon News, a driver's frightening carjacking ordeal. Also, more disturbing details on the Germanwings pilot as the second black box is recovered. And a shock for a little boy who woke up with bullet holes above his bed.
Late home, missed the local news? 7 Local News can also be seen at 6:30 on 7 2, followed by the national 7 News at 7 o'clock. 2 opportunities to see the best local news in the country.
A young boy has had the fright of his life, waking up to bullets being fired into his bedroom in Western Sydney. 9-year-old Barmer was one of 3 children asleep early this morning when the Riverstone house was sprayed with bullets. Police say a white ute was seen speeding away after the shooting. No one was injured. A man has suffered a suspected heart attack during a carjacking in Sydney South. Police say the 59-year-old had just got into his parked Kia Rio sedan at Riverwood last night when a man opened his door. The thieves threw him out and sped off. The victim wasn't injured but was taken to hospital suffering chest pains. He's in a stable condition. Well, thank you for choosing 7 News this afternoon. Stay with us. Next at 4:30, one man's very unusual Anzac souvenir. Also calls for change after Canberra's caged student scandal. And the crash that ended with a car in the deep end.
This is Seven's Afternoon News with Melissa Doyle.
If you have just joined us, good afternoon. It's great to have your company. These are our top stories on 7. 147 people have died in an Islamic terrorist attack on a university in Kenya. 4 Al-Shabaab militants opened fire on students at the university in the town of Garissa in eastern Kenya. Police are investigating the suspicious death of a toddler in central West New South Wales. The 20-month-old boy died almost a fortnight ago. Christians have packed churches across the country to mark Good Friday, the holiest day on their calendar. And there's been huge numbers at the nation's fish markets as people stock up for that traditional Good Friday seafood meal. And still to come in Sport with Jim, all the readiness for day 1 of the championships. There are calls for a new national education standard after it was revealed a 10-year-old autistic boy was placed in a cage-like structure at a Canberra primary school. Let's go live to Amelia Brace in Canberra. Amelia, the ACT government has launched an investigation. Will the federal government also become involved? All right, Amelia Brace with that update live in Canberra this afternoon. Thank you. A taxi driver is on the run after a collision that ended in a car plunging into a backyard swimming pool in Western Sydney. 3 people were inside the car and managed to get out uninjured. Kath Turner has the latest from Hinchinbrook. Australians are coming together with the aim of breaking last year's $16.8 million raised for the Royal Children's Hospital Good Friday appeal in Victoria. Close to $5 million has been raised so far on a day that celebrates our bravest children. Thank you. It is extraordinary. We're all so proud to be part of it. So I will join you tonight. And Jim went to the hospital this morning and met some extraordinary kids and their families. And it's just absolutely the highlight, which is why we're all doing it.
Yep.
But
well, it touches so many lives, Mel, and I think it's great that you're down there. I've done a few of them myself and I love the day. It's a great event and that little Oliver sums it up. That's why you're there and that's why we're there. It's great.
The big smile.
Absolutely.
We are privileged to do it. Isn't it just? Happy Easter.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
Up next, Nelson Aspen's Good Friday Pop Culture Report. But first, here's what's coming up in your local 7 News at 6.
Coming up in 7 News, 147 university students have been killed in a massacre targeting Christians at a university in Kenya. Masked gunmen stormed the campus. Warnings have been issued with many southeast dams now overflowing. Water is spilling after more heavy rain overnight. An 18-year-old Caboolture woman at the centre of a 3-day abduction manhunt is now safe with family. 18-year-old Billy Ann Huxham fled her alleged captor in Maroochydore last night. Her former partner has been charged. Sermons and seafood, how Queenslanders have marked Good Friday. And we'll cross to Gilly live from the Broncos-Titans derby on the Gold Coast. And now for the latest on whether the rain will continue, here's Paul Burt.
We've had a slight break in the weather, however, still disturbance in the upper atmosphere will bring more showers to the southeast tomorrow with some potential storms leading into Easter Sunday. I'll have the full weather wrap tonight, 7 News at 6.
A woman on an empty train in Brazil has fallen victim to what people are calling the most terrifying TV prank ever. For more, here's our showbiz editor, Nelson Aspen.
If you thought your daily commute was tough, be glad you're not a subway rider in Brazil. May it be with you, Mel.
Nelson, thank you. We've got the weather forecast next with Brownie. Our meteorologist David Brown joins us, and Brownie, heavy rain over southeast Queensland's heading south for the weekend.
Yeah, that's the way it's shaping up, Mel. In fact, flooding is likely in and around Sydney tomorrow. In fact, let's go to our weather wall off to Brisbane. First of all, the showers have eased across the city centre. We'll see showers increasing tomorrow. In fact, there could be a thunderstorm as well. In Sydney, well, it's raining cats and dogs. It's only 18 degrees. Tomorrow, the rain should be a lot heavier, and I think we'll see some flash flooding as well. In Melbourne, different story. Sky clear, and it'll stay that way for most of the weekend. At the moment, though, hovering around 20 degrees. And as we head west now into Adelaide, also blue sky. Currently 23 degrees. From the satellite, have a look at this developing trough. This is the system that's been fueling the areas of rain and storms that have been affecting large parts of the eastern seaboard. Different story over the southeast corner thanks to this belt of high pressure. That will continue for another 24 hours. But look at the rain developing down through southern parts of Queensland, right through eastern New South Wales as well. Heavy falls likely around the central New South Wales coast tomorrow as this east coast low starts to wind up. Some of the rain will eventually spill into the eastern part of Victoria very, very late in the day. No change in South Australia. In fact, clear skies. Forecast tomorrow look like this. Showers, local thunderstorms expected in Brisbane around 26 degrees. Sydney, rain at times, quite heavy too, around 20 degrees. For Canberra, a few passing showers tending to rain during the afternoon, up around 17 degrees. Melbourne, another beautiful day, fine and sunny, around 24. Continuing dry in Adelaide, around 25 degrees. Easter Sunday looks like this. Becoming unsettled in Adelaide, a few showers building in Melbourne during the afternoon. Showers easing in Sydney during the afternoon, around 24 degrees. But again, a few more passing showers and storms for Easter Sunday in Brisbane, 27 degrees. That's latest weather. Have a great Easter, Mel.
You too, Brownie. Happy Easter. And that is the afternoon news for this Good Friday. Our next bulletin is 7 News at 6 o'clock. I'm Melissa Doyle. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week and have a happy Easter weekend.